We talk a lot about what to do if you want to lose weight, but what about if you want to gain weight? The key to healthy weight gain is making sure you have plenty of healthy choices on hand to help reach your goals, and that's where meal prep comes in handy. These vegan freezer burritos that I'm going to show you how to make right now are the best. Let's make it. So yes, I said these are vegan. You don't just have to eat beef and chicken in order to gain weight, to gain that healthy muscle. And plant-based protein has the added benefit of fiber. Fiber helps us feel full, it helps our gut health, it does so much good in the body. So I have my skillet over here heating up over medium heat. For this recipe, we are using tofu. And if you haven't used tofu before, it's great in burritos because it can take on so many delicious flavors and it's really easy to work with. When you find tofu in the grocery store, it's usually going to be packed in some sort of water. So just drying it off a bit helps it to really crisp up once it's in the skillet. The tofu might be a little wet, so just be careful of some oil splatters. So meal prep, whether you do a whole ton and create a fridge full of meals for the week, or meal prep a single recipe like what we're doing with this recipe, a little bit can go a long way in setting you up for success during the busy week. So just keep crumbling this all in here, and as it cooks, it's gonna brown up, and then we can add some spices and add flavor here. And while we're using chili powder, cumin, and salt today, you can use whatever flavor combination you'd like. It's amazing how quickly spices like this can really brighten up a dish and honestly make this whole room smell so good. This recipe as is makes 6 burritos, and it's a quick recipe to make, so you could easily double it and have a whole stash of burritos in your freezer for when you need something. So while this tofu cooks away, we're gonna prep some other ingredients that need to go into our burritos. So I have 4 scallions here, and I'm just gonna chop off the little root ends here. If you were to keep a little more of this scallion on top, you could just pop these in a cup with water and they would regrow scallions, which is a pretty neat trick. And now we're just gonna chop away. And I'm also gonna pull out our cilantro. So this is a nice base recipe that you can really add different flavors and ingredients to if you'd like. If you wanted to chop up some sweet potato and toss it in with your tofu and let that cook a little bit, or maybe saute some mushrooms and onion, you can add that in as well. The tofu is nice and browned. We're gonna get it out of the pan so it stays nice and crisp on its own. I'll get this going again over medium heat, and then in go our black beans. You can use any bean you want. Black beans do tend to hold up nicely rather than like a white bean, so this is a good option for this recipe. And then corn as well. I could also see some like diced red bell peppers being really tasty in here. At this time, we're also gonna pop in our scallions that we chopped up. I love all this color. When you're looking to gain weight, protein is important, but so are the other nutrients. And so in this recipe, we are getting a great balance. We have our plant-based protein with tofu. We also get protein from our black beans. The black beans also deliver carbohydrates as well as fiber. Carbs give us energy, so we need energy, especially if you're someone who likes to work out a lot, you need that carbohydrate energy. So don't cut that out. Another important nutrient when you're trying to gain weight is fat. Eating fat does not make you fat. Eating fat does so much for your body. Fat is important for everything from healthy hair and skin to heart health and brain health. And fat also is higher in calories than carbs or protein. Now we're adding everything back to the pan here. So this fresh salsa adds some nice flavor in there. You get the tomatoes, you get a little bit of acid. There's some more cilantro in here. And then now is also the time to drop in our fresh cilantro. So these are a vegan burrito. We skipped the cheese, we skipped the dairy, but you certainly could mix in some cheese at this point to add a little more saltiness and cheesiness that we know and love in burritos. So meal prep, whether you do a whole ton and create a fridge full of meals for the week, or meal prep a single recipe like what we're doing with this recipe, a little bit can go a long way in setting you up for success during the busy week. Take care of those calories, do a little meal prep, and you'll be amazed with how easy it makes your week. And honestly, that is that. I'll turn off my skillet here. So I have my whole wheat tortillas. I popped them in the microwave with a little wet paper towel for about 15 seconds just to heat them up. The warmth makes them more pliable, and we know we need that because rolling burritos can be a little bit of a challenge. On your cutting board, you can lie your 1 whole wheat tortilla, and then we're gonna fill it up, and the key is not filling it up too much so that it overflows. I like to tuck my sides in, and you've got 1 cute little burrito there. We're gonna add it to my pile, and then we can start rolling with our tin foil. And what is nice about rolling these up too is that as they're in the freezer and they freeze, they'll hold together even better when you go to take these out of the tin foil and microwave them down the road. We'll just wrap it up nice and tight to prevent freezer burn, kind of like a burrito on its own. And after this, we're gonna put it directly into our freezer safe bag. So put a date on this bag and they will last in the freezer for up to 3 months. Before I dig into this delicious burrito, I want to show you what it looks like in a meal form. Now, the serving size for this in our healthy weight gain meal plan is 2 burritos, a cup of whatever fruit of your choosing, and then a healthy fat. So 2 burritos, I'll add 1 to my plate here, and then let's cut into another one and see how yummy it looks inside. Ooh, look at all that yummy goodness in there. The corn, the black beans, the tofu. So we have our vegan freezer burrito, and you see it's not a crazy massive meal because you don't want to feel stuffed. And that's where smaller meals throughout the day and snacks can come in handy. I've also made a batch of our yummy almond honey granola bars. They are packed with healthy whole grains. We've got oats in here, we've got almonds, we've got some honey and dried fruit as well. We all know how high in added sugar those power bars can be from the convenience store. So these are a great healthy option that are gonna give you the protein, the carbs, the healthy fats you need to feel satisfied throughout the day. Now, these are just a few examples of healthy meals you can eat when you're trying to gain weight. We have so many more delicious recipes on eatingwell.com, so be sure to check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Happy cooking, and I'll see you next time on Prep School. That's better than I remembered.